Hey guys, it's me. Thank you for coming back to my channel. And today I'm gonna talk about the VPL, Vancouver Public Library. In Vancouver, you can find so many types of VPL not only in downtown. Among the numerous VPLs, I will introduce the Central Library today. Before starting the video, there will be a lot of blurs for personal information protection. You know, the VPL was really huge that many people used it. It may be a little messy, but please understand. So, are you ready? Let's take a look together. Let's start from the top floors. If you get off the 9th floors, you will see the free seats in the open space. The general public can do various activities in these seats without reservation. If you go to the side, there is a meeting room available through special reservation. It's really pretty when the sun comes in. The advantage of the 9th floor is that the windows are so big so you can get sunlight right away. If you use hidden seats everywhere, it can give them being in user's own space. There is also a rooftop garden where you can have a quick meal. It's great to have a space like this in a library. You know, sometimes library can give them a stuffy feeling, so yeah, that's why this place is amazing. If you come back to the center of this floor, you will find the stairs to the 8th floor. It's a space where stairs and seating areas are combined. In Myeongji-unip, we got a space like this, right? I mean, in the new building. Anyway, like this floor is an area where culture and learning spaces are properly harmonized. One place is holding an exhibition like this. And in this area, you can check about the history of VPL. I can see some analog tools. For me, it's very familiar things, but what do these things mean to general public? I'm very intrigued. On the other side, there is a space where you can study like on the 9th floor. The difference from the upstairs is that there is another special space where you can study more quietly beyond the glass wall. You can go from the 8th floors to the 2nd floor by escalator. Of course, elevators are available. From here, let's take the escalator to the next floor. There is a special collection on the 7th floor. VPL has a comprehensive collection of materials to help with local history research. If you go in, you can see the machine where you can see old data and various historical pictures on the computer. Wide seats and big materials stand out. As it is Vancouver Public Library, there are so many people historical materials related to the Vancouver history. I can see familiar street names like Waterfront, Hastings. When I first came here, it was not easy to adapt to the street name. There are microfilm material and the machine that can read that in the back. Since it is named special, there are so many special materials that can only be found here. Like this, being a place of history is also an important role of the library. I thought of a regional specialized data section in Korea. The 6th to 4th floors have quite similar structure. You can see the difference only in the data that are arranged. Anyway, let's start with the right. On the 6th floor, you can see more materials that are different from general materials, such as CD and maps DVDs. Sometimes in Korean library, you can see these non-book materials freely and can only receive them if you ask a librarian, but it was good to use them right away in VPL. As there are many materials related to music or movies, so you can check also see script materials. I heard that there is an increasing tendency to collect scripts for certain works in Korea in these days, so I wonder if libraries also provide related materials alone. Let's look to the left this time. You can check the reference resource first. If you pass between the bookshelves, you can see history, geography, and travel section. F5, VPL is using LC, Library of Congress classification system. Across the bookshelves, there are microfilms materials and map. There are desks specialized for look at large maps, and the word map is hung on one side, indicating that it is a map-related space. Unlike other spaces, the fifth floor is emphasized as a quiet place. It's a space where you have to keep quiet more than other spaces. On this floor, you can see various newspaper and magazine materials. The layout of the newspaper is quite familiar, right? Because our university newspaper is also places like this. I can clearly tell because I organized it while working last year. The newspapers here will go through the binding process like I did, maybe. If you're curious about information about my college library part-time jobs, please click on the link above. Beyond the newspaper layout space, there is also a dedicated reading space. If you go to the right, you can see another space. The department in charge of VPL's Info Action Service is located here. Info Action was established as a fee-based research service in 1996 by VPL in order to expand access to information in a cost-effective manner to a segment of the public interested in enhanced service. There's clipping files across from Info Action. You can convert old newspaper into microfilm materials and read them. Last summer, I read a 2002 newspaper as a microfilm when I took practical training at the National Library of Korea. So this reminds me of that time. Now, let's check the first floor. Likewise, there's a lot of information on the wall. What stands out here is the phrase, keep an eye on your belongings at all times. In Korea, it doesn't matter if you just leave things on the table, but this is Canada, not Korea. Always be careful about protecting our stuff. On the first floor, there are more various information in the building than on the fifth floor. And the fourth floor is organized like a library that we usually know. Among them, the material that stands out is the big book. Korea also leaves out big book materials, right? In Korea, there are many cases where only the major categories of KDC are written, but this place is so big that they even wrote down the subcategories. I think it'll help them find the data. There are also booths where you can use the phone. Did you know that there is just similar things in the National Library of Korea? And there are the materials related to the English test on the other side. And finally, that was my favorite space across the way. Would you like to take a look? Done! It's a window set up to the 6th floor. The lighting is incredibly pretty and it's my favorite space because I can feel the grandeur of VPL. Coming down to the 3rd floor, I can see the accessible service space right away. Accessible service provides service to library users with mobility challenges and or print disability who live in the city of Vancouver. On the 3rd floor, there's a social service information. There are many homeless people in Vancouver, so libraries share the information of shelter or a space that provides free food for them. I can feel the heart of VPL that cares about all members of society. The biggest feature of 3rd floor is that it has an inspiration rack. It's a space for creators where you can use various filming equipment and editing programs. However, we couldn't film the inside because it was under construction. So I'll show you the video that VPL sent me instead. This was also space where the digital libraries of the National Library of Korea operate. If you're curious about more information like that, I write down a link to the practical training blog I wrote down in the description section, so if you're interested in, check it out later. Finally, we are at the entrance. On the 2nd floor, there are information desks, materials that people usually look for, and new books. And there is also a self-checkout machine. I'll show you how to use it in a little while. On one side of the 2nd floor, there are books other than English, such as Chinese, Korean, and Japanese. Let's go see the Korean section. There were not many recent data, but there were enough famous books I heard in Korea. Should I borrow a few books? For your information, I'm a temporary student in here, so I made an ID card for $30 in 3 months. Using a self-checkout machine is very simple. Press the button, enter the card and password, and recognize the barcode. It supports many languages, so you can use it easily even if you don't know English. I returned the 2 books I borrowed before to the automatic return machine. It's transparent, so you can see the rail moving. In addition to this, there is a new book area and a section for teenagers on the 2nd floor. Last section is the children's library. You can find the entrance to this area at the new book section on the 2nd floor. It's a space for children only, so it's already cute and feels different, right? The bookshelves is low and they've created a space on the wall and assigned several zones. I can see the space to take care of the children. I worked at a children's library last year, so yeah, I think it would be great if this space was spacious and popular. As it is a melting pot country, there are children's books in many languages. China, Arab, Colombia, of course Korea. They also lend game cities for children. And a board game that they can enjoy with their parents. I felt a warm consideration for the child in here. Lastly, I will tell you 2 areas that my majors can relate to the end of the tour. this drawer is familiar to the professional, right? It felt strange to see what I learned in class in another country. It's amazing that libraries have the same form everywhere in the world, so yeah, it makes me relieved. And this is the reservation bookshelves next to the information desk. Since the library is large, the reservation bookshelves are very huge, right? They put receipt between the books, and it was fun because even these little things were similar. Me again, yeah, maybe someone guess this pattern, yeah. I know this pattern is boring, but this is what it is, so yeah. Anyway, I brought the Q&A that I prepared again. There are a total of 4 questions, and it's not boring for me. Yeah, I hope that. So please watch until the end. Okay, let's start the number 1 question. Question is, libraries in Korea are now turning into complex cultural spaces. Beyond simply providing materials, we are opening a library so that users can enjoy many cultural activities. What about Canada? What is the library that BPL is aiming for? Their answer is, BPL's answer is, at Vancouver Public Library, we work to support our vision of an informed, engaged, and connected city. From earlier literacy to lifelong learning, BPL's focus is on continued growth and improvement for everyone in Vancouver. We also play an important role in supporting the City of Vancouver's equity, diversity, and inclusion priorities. This includes ongoing work to improve accessibility, active support of IB, POC, and LGBTQ2+ communities, and speaking ways to increase cross-cultural understanding. IB, POC, and LGBTQ2+. So actually I didn't know that word before, so I searched that. Their meaning is peace. Maybe many people already knows about LGBTQ2+. I personally, very personally, I think that the points that libraries around the world are aiming for and should aim for are all similar. But it's still hard to see the direct use of these words in Korea, in my opinion. I don't want to say it's bad. I think we need more time, because we are at the center of the change. So that's why I especially pleased with this word, the previous 2 words. Libraries standing as a place of knowledge in the middle of the world without prejudice. So I think that's the goal that libraries in Canada and also Korea and around the world should aim for beyond our country. Yeah, well, was it a little boring from the beginning? But I'm sorry about that, but it was necessary, I think. It's very necessary. Yeah, move on to number 2 question. I heard that there are several branches of BPL in Vancouver. Is the relationship with the branch vertical? Do you focus on the main building when you first follow the guidelines or instructions of the main building and produce and collaborate on the program? BPL's answer is, BPL has 21 locations throughout the city, making it easier for patrons to receive excellent library service no matter where they live. Whether our patrons are seniors, newcomers, children, youth, low income, or indigenous, each of these groups has needs that BPL supports. Understanding the aspirations and challenges of a community let us focus resources appropriately. For example, we recognize the language diversity of our patrons and provide multilingual collections suitable for each neighborhood. Having a presence in different neighborhoods allows us to deliver our programming consistently to Vancouver residents. Every year, we deliver more than 5,000 programs supporting early literacy to children. Actually, this concept of the branch was the most focusing part when I first came to Canada. When I first came here, I could see a lot of space with BPL written on them, but BPL here, also BPL there. Yeah, my English was worse than now, so yeah, can you guess my situation? The public library in Vancouver is BPL, and each branch has an additional name right now. So yeah, and 21 locations. Yeah, I'd like to go to another branches too. Yeah, and education. Education and libraries are inseparable, I think. Yeah, we don't have to do that. Yeah, I think Canada is especially important in how can I say, multinational? Yeah, multinational countries. I heard that the literacy of young students is decreasing every year in Korea. I wish the library could solve this very strongly. And I personally think it's a big social problem. That's why I really worried about that. Of course, it's not a crime to not know. It's a bad society to blame when you express what you don't know about that. I hope the library will put a lot of effort into getting rid of the social atmosphere. And number 3, I'm curious about the program cases through cooperation with other institutions, curation events, things like that. And their answer is, BPL's Programming and Learning Department makes connections with community partners, to bring programming to the library that encourages patrons to learn about their work and enjoy their city. Arts and culture is a part of the mix, and we recently had Vancouver Opera stage a performance ahead of their latest production. This summer we have several workshops with Village Vancouver that teach people how to start their own vegetable gardens. Of course, we love sharing the latest books with readers, and we posted some exciting authors through our collaboration with Vancouver Writers Fest. But our programming also highlights local issues and gives voice to diverse groups that don't always have access to a platform. We are committed to truth and reconciliation, and to being a place to learn about the history and cultures of indigenous peoples in Canada. The Uplift Asia series of lectures, which we held in May, featured many talented creators sharing their inspiration as a way to fight back against anti-Asian racism. Vegetable garden is cute, isn't it? Actually, it's not closely related, but it reminds me of that, what is the name? Farm party? Yeah, program in the Nutinamu library in Korea. In here, Nutinamu means Jalkoba tree in Korean. So it's very quiet and very amazing library. I went there before. For those who are interested, I will put a link to the homepage in the description section, so check it out later if you're interested. Actually, my friend is going there as an intern, so right now. Anyway, Canada is a multi-ethnic country and is also very famous for immigration. Some people will miss their hometowns and they will have difficulty adjusting to life in Canada, or third generation children will be confused about their identity. It was impressive that BPL also plays a role in creating opportunities to encounter this multi-ethnic social issue very lightly and sometimes very heavily. And finally, last question. Recently, I saw a store in front of the library selling old materials. They sell old books and various electronic materials at very low prices. Are these materials originally owned by the library? Their answer is, Outside of the library is Bookmark, the library store, which is operated by the Friends of the Vancouver Public Library. They are library lovers who volunteer to fundraise in support of repeal. The used books and other media that they sell are mostly donated by the public. Library lover, I like this expression. Isn't it cute? What I checked was this scenery. Yeah. I asked because I was wondering if they were materials that were kept in the library because they are really old materials. So I think it's great that libraries and library lovers can communicate. The Korean library that I experienced had a very harder atmosphere than this. So yeah, we had to do something like a festival to get close to the general public. Yeah, my knowledge may be narrow, but I felt that this way was different from Korea. We finished our 4 Q&A sessions, and I think this video will be the last library I'm shooting in the Canada. I will go back to Korea in this month, that's why. And it's my first time planning and making a video in earnest, so the speed is so slow too. But if I have a chance to go another abroad again, I want to make a better video introducing various libraries in that country. And once again, I would like to express my gratitude to the library officials in Canada and who watched until the end of my video. And also, even when I go back to Korea, I will always think that there are many people who are similar to me across the globe, and I will continue to be a prospective librarian who continues to grow without stopping. If there is another opportunity, let's meet again with the same contents. Thank you for watching, you guys. Let's meet in the Korea. Okay, bye.